story. Most of you probably remember this. I think I covered this one. This was done last year. Yeah. Hell of a story. Yeah. Chicago police officers open fire and shoot an unarmed young man 96 times. That's right. You heard it. 96 times. Over for what? A so-called seatbelt infraction. And keep in mind, these officers are plainclothes, unmarked, didn't even ring themselves, and yeah, it's crazy. Here we go.
Hell of a thing. This is an update. Dexter Reed's
Here's an update. This is an update.
Will now receive $1.2 million.
$1.2 million.
Because the police were trigger happy, killed someone, and lied about it. Here's a reminder.
Here it is.
Chicago police are initiating a traffic stop on a driver reportedly for not wearing a seatbelt, according to the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. A traffic stop being conducted by 5 tactical officers.
Roll the window down. What are you doing?
Hold this one down.
Roll that one down too. Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up.
Okay.
Do not roll the window up. Unlock the doors now.
The temperature quickly escalates. One officer puts what appears to be his gun on the windshield. Reed then fires first, hitting an officer in the forearm, according to the initial investigation. Then, chaos.
Hey! Hey, St. Louis, good! Shots fired!
Shots fired.
Reed goes down. Then,
yeah, he saw it right there. He went down.
Gunshots. 96.
96.
According to investigators.
96 gunshots. The family will now receive $1.25 million. I will give you the background and the update. Put it up full mass. Chicago police claimed the reason for the traffic stop was that Mr. Reed was not wearing a seatbelt. But body cam footage shows that none of the officers were wearing seatbelts when they hopped out of their car with guns drawn. Then, when questioned how they could have seen a seatbelt violation through Reed's dark tinted windows, police then changed their narrative to claim they had pulled him over because his tint was too dark. The lawsuit filed by Reed's family states the real reason they stopped the young Mr. Reed was because of racial profiling. They were hoping to find something more serious than a seatbelt violation. And earlier this week, it was announced that the family will receive $1.25 million in a settlement. I'm going to give you the details about the fatal encounter.
You know, it just amazed me. You get big city cops out there, plain clothes, unmarked, don't even hardly present themselves. They come out like a pack of gangbangers, holding guns, and you see 4 or 5 people holding guns like that, don't even identify themselves as a police officer like that. Yeah, your mind's like, dude, I think they're about to jack me. I think they're gonna. I said, man, they're probably gonna try to rob. I said, I think they're gonna probably rob me. Oh, what they got guns? What these guys people got guns wrong? What did I do? They're probably gonna shoot me. I mean, it's crazy. And here it is again. This is the problem with police in America. The pussification of America. You got trigger-happy cops out there that want to play judge, jury, and executioner. You got cops that want to kill people over petty bullshit civil infraction crimes or property that's worth diddly shit.
A group of Chicago cops driving an unmarked car in a residential community and dressed in plain clothes cut in front of another car driven by a black man named Dexter Reed last March, forcing him to stop before ordering him out at gunpoint and never identifying themselves as officers or informing him why he was being detained.
Yeah, and you hear in the video, all they did was holler instruction at him and tell him to roll the window down. Then one cop says, "What are you doing?" And he's probably looking like, "What do you mean what I'm doing? What do you guys want?" I say, and he's probably thinking like, "Why do y'all mob around my vehicle? What am I doing? What do you guys stop me for? I done nothing. I'm just going to point B." Guns drawn like that. He probably like, "What the heck is going on here?"
Full stop on that. You're in Chicago.
Yeah.
A group, multiple vehicles, a group of human beings jump out.
Yeah, and they jump out. Here I got another clip I want to play. I want to preview, which I can get to a story down the road. Yeah, here's another clip right here. You hear that? First of all, where's this at? Base in Chicago. Another one, Chicago. Boom, right there. You hear that? And you hear the one that says, "You come up with anything except your hands, I will shoot you in the head and end you." All right, yeah. We'll break that down later on for the date. Yeah, we'll break it down further down. I just want to play you a preview. Here we go. Back to the story.
Plain clothes with guns.
Yeah.
They do not identify themselves as officers.
And here's another thing about that story what I just preview like that, where the cop admitted he effed up. What were those cops? Plain clothes. They hardly even announced themselves police. They just got guns drawn over a wrong tag on the vehicle. It just amazes me. Petty crime is like, I mean, it's not like any of these crimes are high profile and like that. And they come out with guns drawn, trigger happy. These thin blue line, shit like that. Yeah, the game mentality. And just have you have the attitude like, "Oh, you better do exactly as I say. You better comply. You twitch." I mean, what if the guy sneezed or like that? Or what if he coughed? I mean, what if he had a seizure like that? They probably would have shoot him, probably put him down. And what cops were, and what is the one thing cops always talk about? Oh, officer safety. Then they always go to their tactical defense. I was feared for my life. Yeah, because they can say that in court and law and testify, and qualified immunity will back them up.
They do not have anything on their persons to identify that
Nothing.
they work for the government. What are you thinking? You would think what anyone else would think.
Yeah.
It's a carjacking.
They're going to steal your ride, or they're going to try to rob you.
Police claim Reed was only 26 years of age. Responded by firing a single shot, striking one of the
That's
cops
bullcrap.
in
There's
the
no
wrist.
evidence of that.
But that is not clear in any of the multiple videos released by the Chicago Office of Police Accountability. What is clear is that the cops fired 96 shots within 41 seconds. That's clear. Striking him 13 times and killing him after he stepped out of the car with both hands in the air,
showing he was unarmed.
He was unarmed. The 5 cops involved in the traffic stop: Guillaume Papa, Thomas Spanos, Victor Pacheco, Gregory St. Louis, and Aubrey Webb were the subjects of numerous complaints from citizens in the months leading up to the shooting, death of Reed, according to Block Club Chicago. In the 3 days leading up to the shooting, the same group of cops pulled over 50 cars without issuing a single citation. The Sun-Times reported. So what do you have? You got a jump out crew.
Yeah.
We used to have it in the city of Atlanta. They called them Red Dog. Red Dog routinely violated constitutional rights.
And there's others that have that, the so forth task force, or or what Memphis when they killed Tyree Nichols, what they had to call, what they had to call the, oh my God, I can't think of it. I had it top of my tongue, but yeah, they had the so-called SWAT team or like that. Oh yeah, other cities, Louisville, Kentucky had it, the task force like that, where they would pull over cars for simple traffic violations, and they prolong the stop. One of the cops that did was a head and like that, who eventually he got fired, and the task force got dismissed was Kevin Crofley up in Kentucky.
Red Dog would just hop out on individuals.
No, Crawford.
Because
Kevin
they
Crawford.
felt like it. That is a constitutional no-no. You cannot create this dragnet and engage the citizen, engage a person without any prerequisite reason. And that is exactly what these cops were doing. The record was clear. If the local paper can get the data, who else has the data? The sergeant has the data. The watch commander, the captain, the chief likely has the data because the data is available. But they allowed this to continue to permeate clearly because they didn't give a damn about the citizens who were being violated. There's more. Following the shooting, the cops were all placed on paid administrative leave, but one, Guillaume Papa, resigned in November to take a new job at the Tip Police Department in Ohio. WTTW reported this last week. So Andrew Stroth, an attorney representative...
That kind of reminds me of the 3 police officers that were acquitted and exonerated after the death of Manuel Ellis in their hands. So they got resigned with $500,000 and a pension, but one of the police officers took a job and signed up for the Thurston County Sheriff's Department. But people found out real quick about that because you know how people in this day and age, people want to be activist journalists. So what happened to that officer down in Thurston? He had no choice but resign because he was getting threats.
Reed's family told the Chicago Sun-Times on Monday, quote, this case is
And plus, when you got cops that violate the protocol and oath, and when they screw up the job, they're placed on the Brady list. See, people like Scotty doesn't understand that concept.
About an unlawful and violent escalatory traffic stop in a city that has a pattern and practice of these types of discriminatory pretextual stops. First, they said
There was no seatbelt. Then they said it was tinted windows.
Said tinted windows.
It was
all pretextual, he said. The city has spent tens of millions of dollars defending cases like this because this is a pattern and practice case about traffic stops and about the policies and procedures of the Chicago Police Department. The cost of defense is several $1 million. So who's on the line for the money? Well, the taxpayer is. Who's defunding the police? The police are defunding the police. Who is the victim? Well, the individuals who are killed because of this kind of insane behavior. Now, this only permeates for one reason, because you have a culture that protects it. There's a culture that protects it. So just as the blood is on the hands of these cops who engaged in actually firing bullets, the blood is also on the hands of the policymakers and politicians who protect the practice. The lawsuit cited a survey that states Black people in Chicago are 4 times as likely than white people in Chicago to be stopped by police while driving, walking, or just standing.
Yep.
Quote,
fact.
10% of young Black men reported experiencing a use of force other than handcuffing by a CPD officer, a rate 6 times greater than all Chicago adults during that same time period, the claim states. 11% of young Black men reported having a gun pointed at them by a Chicago police officer over the past 12 months, over 5 times the rate of all Chicago residents. Quote, the cops here are not really doing the job of a police officer, said Angie Smith, who lives around the corner from the Reed shooting death where the shooting death took place. Quote, they are really intimidating people just because.
Here comes the hard-hitting truth, and I'm going to speak about it after this statement's done.
They have a badge. They are not serving and protecting us anymore. It seems like they are here just because they have a quota to hit.
Boom! Fact, 100% right there. And I've been preaching about that as well. You know, cops are not here to serve and protect. They are here to bully, intimidate you, and harass. Because they think they got a badge and they got qualified immunity, and they just can make up whatever like that. Yeah, they have a quota to hit. It's about writing a certain amount of tickets or making a certain amount of arrests, so that way they can keep their job, keep their paycheck, make a quota, and make their commission. Otherwise, they get regulated to desk duty as well.
A few years ago, I went to Chicago. I was involved in a peace rally where rival gang leaders.
Oh yeah, and another thing about cops are, they don't like it when you stand up for your rights. No, they act like, oh, you're one of those guys. Oh, they'll turn around and say, you're a sovereign citizen just because you know you're right. And the thin blue line lovers do that shit. Josh does. Kenny did. Oh, if you stand up for your rights, say, hey, I got rights, or you exercise your First Amendment right, or you say you don't answer a question, you're invoking your Fifth Amendment. Oh, you're a frauditor. Oh, you're a sovereign citizen. I mean, that's what they do like that. They have the attitude. And you know who said that a lot of times? Yeah, good old Officer Brandon Tatum. He always has that attitude. Oh, just comply. Obey. Oh, you should answer all the questions. When an officer is asking you a question, you should answer. No, you don't need to answer them. The only thing you ever need to tell a police officer is your name and birthday. Rest of the nation, they go fluke off with the rest of that crap.
Signed peace accords or peace agreements. There was a white male city councilman. Man, this guy, beautiful soul. He wanted to remain off record. He cared more about doing the work than anything else. And he said something to me. These negotiations were started at 12 midnight. He said something to me that I thought was profound, but I know today to be true. He said, you know, the real job of Chicago PD, it is to keep South Chicago and North Chicago separate.
Wow.
Sharon, hell of a story. Thoughts here?
Yeah, I remember when you were part of that peace summit. It was successful, too, the right way to increase safety in parts of the country. You mentioned the Red Dogs in Atlanta. And what happens when you don't deal with the jump out boys, it's every jurisdiction, whether it's Chicago, Atlanta, or Memphis. Mm-hmm. $550 million lawsuit down there.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd. You talk about, they're paid to, keep South Chicago and North Chicago separate. We're not talking about, the White Sox or the Chicago Cubbies. That's a lot more. It's about protocol.
The mother of Tyree Nichols, because the jump out boys beat him to death in Memphis. Yep. He thought he was a victim because he was a victim of crime from the largest mob bosses around. That's what's going on here. There's nobody to protect us from this gang, and it's sick. And you're right. We pay for it. We pay for it with our funds, our tax dollars, and we pay for it with bloodshed of another black man.
Yeah, and once again, the policies that protect, which is something that we all have the ability, the capacity to dismiss bad politicians and bad policies. All right.
And the thing about it, we always talk about too, is, like many of us, even I do too, it's like, we end up paying for it. Yeah, taxpayers. I always talk about you really want to hurt police departments and maybe have these police officers that are dirty trigger happy think twice before pulling a gun out for a simple, stupid civil infraction, or because their feelers got tarnished, or that somebody took a swipe at their little precious little fees, and the cops won't be contempt of cops. You take it out of their department, out of their pockets and paychecks, have to spend it without pay. Then don't think twice. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm out here. My job. Peace out.